Hey guys, Spectrum here with some Guild Wars 2 beta footage. Now, I know the beta was a couple of weeks ago. I've been really busy with work at uni. I'm on my last week of uni, which is fantastic. Well, kind of fantastic. I'm looking forward to next year. But yeah, I kind of want to get home. You know, it's kind of stressful at the moment. I'm looking forward to getting out of this kind of small, dank room, you know, all that stuff. But I managed to get a few moments to make a video for you guys. So now, if you guys played in the beta weekend, which I know a couple of you did, I think it was fantastic. I really enjoyed this game. Not straight away. I think there were a couple of things that kind of ruined my time on the game, which I'm going to get into in a bit. But first of all, I think it's a great game. There's plenty to do, like in any good MMO. Well, I never really played many MMOs, so I wouldn't know. But in this game, you have 3 different types of quests, which I think is always a good thing. You have instances, which are like the main story mode. You take them on yourself. I guess you could probably be in a party to do them, but you take them on yourself, and they're generally a bit harder than the rest of it. I just feel like you've got a bit more competition, and you know, it's part of the storyline. You get that little bit more XP, you get item rewards, etc, etc. Then there are just side quests where you go and help someone out. You can only do them once, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. I wish you could do them like every 10 levels or such, which actually I wouldn't know because I never got a character to level 10. But anyway, the side quests are good. They're just simple things like go and wipe this person, go and kill these types of people. Go and collect this for me. Generally, what you'll find with the side quests is there are plenty of ways to complete them, but some ways are better for completion than others. And then there are things like this, the events. Now, events pop up in orange, and they can take place anywhere across the world, and anyone can join in and do them. Now, what you have to do is, it'll be some main objective, like collect this item, wipe out these creatures, beat this boss, escort this person, anything like that. The main thing you got to remember with a live event, you can go in. Perhaps if you're fighting a boss like I am here, you can go and do some damage, revive someone, get out, and go and do something else. You'll still get rewarded. You'll still get a son of gold. You'll still get some karma points. You'll still get some experience, but that performance determines how much you get at the end. You can see there on screen I had just completed an event and I got a gold medal. The amount that you contribute to each event determines on how much you get. So like there I got a gold medal, that means I contributed enough to get gold. If you say it's a collect a certain item thing and bring it back, like a harvest mission, then you know, if you harvest one item and give it to them and then go off and do something else, you're going to get bronze. If you fight a boss and you do sort of like a little bit of damage, but then you go off and do something else, you might get bronze. Let's say you bring out 4 items, you might get silver. Let's say you bring back 6, you're going to get gold. Whatever. It's best to contribute, but if you want to go off and do something else because there aren't many people at this event, it's not getting done quick enough, you want to progress, you want to do something else, you can't do it all by yourself, which a lot of harvesting missions a lot of those events tend to be based on a lot of people have to do this, so it's best just to take, you know, kind of think, well, I can't really collect all this ore by myself, which is one of the events I'm doing here, so I might as well go off and do something else. But then you don't have to worry, because then it will be, other people might pick it up and do it, and then you'll get a reward anyway. So that's really cool. That gives you a sense of freedom. It gives you a sense of wanting to contribute that little bit more. And obviously this isn't an MMO, so people obviously do want to contribute, which is, I think, is fantastic. And I feel that's where the game gets addictive, because you're, you know, think, alright, I'll go and do this side quest and then I'll get off, and then an event pops up and you think, right, I'll go and do this event and then I'll go and do this, and then you think, oh well, now I've leveled up and I can get this item, let's go and get that. And I think that's where this game is going to get you playing a lot of it, which is fantastic. I love it when games make you want to play it that little bit more, which is great, I love that. Now, some of the things I didn't enjoy, to begin with, there wasn't a great connection in the beta. I found on the first day and a half I got kicked a lot, and if I did get kicked I wouldn't be able to get back in. Now obviously that's just part of the beta, obviously a lot of people are trying to get on. They probably didn't predict so many people would be pre-purchasing the game, so I think that had a little effect. And then my laptop didn't run it perfectly. You can see there are some frame rate drops in the gameplay, so you know that kind of had an effect on the game there. So those two things kind of had a drawback, but I have to say overall it was a good, an enjoyable game. Now here I've actually gone onto the equipment screen, and this little symbol on the armor shows that that armor has been damaged. Every time you die, you get some damage done. Like your armor takes some damage, basically, and you have to go and repair that damage. But that basically means it loses some of its effectiveness. Now, I think this is a little unfair, frankly, because if you're dying a lot, especially in an instance, which are a little bit harder because you have to do them on your own, you can die so quickly in an instance. If there's like more than 3 bad guys there who are, you know, 1 or 2 levels higher than you, which they could be, well, what? You haven't got anyone else to res you, you haven't got many options to get heals on, you're not gonna have a fantastic time in that instance. And the annoying thing is when you get downed in this game, the AI still attacks you. I think it's kind of unfair, you know. There is a difference between them attacking you when you're down and, you know, just kind of hitting you on the off chance. If you're not dead, the AI will not stop attacking you. Even if there are other players around, they will focus on killing you. And I think that's kind of annoying, because how can you progress through the instance if you're ending up dying over and over again because the AI are so harsh, and each time your armor gets weaker and weaker and weaker? I just think that's a bit of an unfair mechanic. In the rest of the game, fine. If you die in, say, an instance, or not an instance, if you die in an event or a side quest, fair enough. You should come back with weaker armor, whatever. But if you die in an instance, I think that's a little unfair. Now, one of the other things is the first character I made was a human elementalist, and maybe it wasn't because I hadn't learned to play the game very well. Maybe it was just the character, but I didn't have a great time with that character, just because I think it was too weak. It felt like you took too much damage, and I think that might be similar with all the magical classes. I didn't get to play as a necromancer, but I did play as a mesmer, and the mesmer was pretty cool just because you got to use pistols and swords as well, and you had weapon swaps. But the elementalist felt very, very weak, very, very sort of. It felt like you had to be constantly on top of your playing, because if you weren't concentrating, you take so much damage, and then you have to constantly swap to different abilities. If there was a way with the elementalist just to have a hotbar of, say, a fire attack, a water attack, a lightning attack, and a wind attack, or whatever it is, whatever combination of attacks that you want. Say you want the fire ability backburner, which would leave you, so it gives you a dodge, but you leave a trail of fire in your wake. That's a fantastic ability. Give me that, but then give me the water ability to heal myself. Give me this, you know, the lightning ability to do whatever. Give me those things on one hotbar instead of forcing me to switch between each of them, because that's annoying. But maybe that's just the point of an elementalist, to be complicated. Here I'm using the waypoint system. It's just a teleport system. It's fairly cheap amount of gold. Takes you across the map. It's not, you know, complex. It doesn't, you know, whatever. Now here I'm actually looking for a weaponsmith. Now on my warrior character, who was also a Norn, there was a warrior. There was a armor smith somewhere in the village, and there was also a weaponsmith where I'm about to look. But on this character, he's disappeared. No idea why. it's just not there. There's no merchant there selling any form of weapons, which I found a bit odd, frankly. You know, I was trying to click, is that the weaponsmith? Where is he? Now, on the mini-map, I think that the key needs to be a bit developed for the mini-map, because it's not that obvious. You can hover over things if you don't know what it is, obviously, but I still think it needs a little bit more explaining what things are. But if you're wondering, the weaponsmiths are a little red dot, and the armorsmiths are a little blue dot. And there are some in the main city here, which I'm about to go to, called Hjolbrak or something. It's that place, and you can get a pretty decent amount of gear to begin with. It's fairly cheap. I didn't think so in my first playthrough, but that's mainly because I forgot to collect gold I had for events and such, so I just always had a low amount of gold. But honestly, I think it's fairly cheap early on, but then again, I didn't get to level 10, so I don't know. I have a feeling that they may have reduced the rate that you level up, so that no one was getting to like crazy high levels on the first weekend, because I think that'd be a little unfair. The highest I saw all weekend was level 15, so I have a feeling these first few levels will go pretty quickly, and you'll get to level 10 fairly fast. That might just be, that might not be true, but I don't know. I think you have to put a lot of time into this game, but there's a lot to do. I didn't feel at any point that there wasn't enough for me to do, and the only other thing is that I have to say it was very addictive. I really wanted to get these characters leveled up. I really wanted to get them to, I don't know, level, a decent high level. I actually really wanted to keep going, but I ran out of time, unfortunately. But anyway, that is Guild Wars 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. I doubt I'll be making any more videos for this. I might do one more from the footage I got from the beta weekend. And you can see here I'm just showing you weapon swaps and what you can and can't have in the offhand. But I doubt I'll make any more videos beyond the beta footage, because I'm not that good at it, and B, I'm not that into PC gaming. Very, very few. I mean,